Hey, what's up everybody, Mr. B here, and today we are talking about your purple to blue belt kicks that you need to advance from purple to blue. So the three kicks that we need are our spinning back kick, our spinning hook kick, and our flying front kick. Now, I put the flying front kick after the flying side kick because this flying side kick is way more fun, okay? But the flying front kick does require a little bit more technique in regards to making sure that you're hitting with the ball of the foot, but there's also a lot of kicking combinations that spring up from the flying front kick that your flying front kick opens up. All right, so spinning back kick. Now, as you all know, this is my favorite kick of all time, and this is gonna be pretty much the ultimate tutorial in how to do a spinning back kick. So, when you're in your spinning back kick, you want your right guard stance right here, easy peasy. You're going to be kicking with your back leg. So when I move here, okay, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to turn so that my feet move together, okay? And the reason why I want my feet to move together is that I want this takeoff motion with my back foot as opposed to a lift, making it a defensive side kick or a spinning side kick instead of a spinning back kick. Now, the big differentiator between a back kick and a side kick, your knee is sideways, back kick, your knee is down. So you're working on those internal rotations on your back kick. So when you're doing a back kick, again, right guard stance, I'm gonna go ahead and turn. Now, I want my left side to be turning over my shoulder just like so. I always like to remember the three things: my hands, my eyes beat my hands beat my feet, okay? So I wanna be looking at the target. I want to make sure that my hands come around and protect myself, boom, and then I just want to fire, okay? Nice and easy. There is nothing too complicated about this kick at all. Spin and fire. And again, the biggest thing that you're looking for is the takeoff portion of the leg. I want to pull my leg through and fire just like so. So one more time here, spinning back kick, whoa, boom. Okay, let's show it from the other side so that you can see how my foot is taken off. When I move, here I am in my left guard stance. I'm going to be kicking with my right foot. Back leg is my kicker. Okay, I spot, I fire. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I turn, I spot, I fire. One more time, here we go. I turn, I fire, and again, I'm trying to think like an airplane taking off as opposed to lifting around like this. Okay, we're gonna do that lift here for our next kick, the spinning hook kick. Okay, so I like to do this with an obstacle. Okay, I train by myself a lot, so having something to kick over just helps encourage getting my hips into the appropriate position and getting them up high because I don't always have somebody to hold mitts for me. All right, so now this is the same motion, okay, on my spin that I'm gonna do. So if I'm in my left guard stance here with my back facing the camera, okay, I'm gonna spin over that right shoulder, right here. Then I'm gonna do the exact opposite of a back kick. I'm gonna go ahead and pick my foot up, but not until about here, okay? I don't wanna pick up way over here because then I'm gonna have this extended leg out here for this really long period of time, all right? It makes it really hard to get around and over my target because my muscles are gonna get tired. Okay, so when I'm doing a spinning hook kick, I don't want to kick, boom, until my hands are about right here, okay? And my kicking leg should be off on about a 45-degree angle, so that way when I release, boom, here like so, then I can get my kick all the way through the target and around and over to the other side. So again, when I'm here, left guard stance, there's my guard, there's my hook. Now, when you're doing your hook kick, okay, a lot of us are gonna want to, because we're spinning, start to let those toes wander up into more of an outside crescent kick. When you're throwing your hook, you wanna fight that urge to let your toes point up and try to keep them as sideways as humanly possible up and over the target, okay? That is what's gonna make your spinning hook kick look really great. Now, just like a normal hook kick, when we're trying to go from 11 to 1, we want to do the same thing with our release, okay? I want to try and release as close to 11 o'clock as possible, and then I want to keep my legs straight through 1 o'clock, and then I want to pull my foot back into my fold or my chamber from there. So again, I'm here, boom, there's my 11 o'clock release. As you can see, I was kind of pausing for a little bit. Leg starts to get tired, I drop on the obstacle. When I go fast, boom, Nice and easy. Now, from the other side, okay, always work both sides. I can't stress this enough. Be an ambidextrous fighter. We're gonna turn, boom, up and over, okay? Now, if you saw that, I'm getting a little bit of an arc on my hook kick, okay? That's just going to show that I'm not warmed up as much as I would like to be when I'm doing this kick. But when I'm practicing, I wanna try and get as even a shot as possible through the target, okay? So when I'm here, boom, I fire, try to get that nice and flat, all right? Now, your volume that you should be doing for these kicks should be 10 on each side, minimum 10 on each side. I really like to operate in the area of 30 to 50 on each leg, especially when I'm really trying to get a sweat on, okay? But 10 minimum, all right? It's on your practice papers, 10 on each side. That is the bare minimum to get a little bit better. Now, moving on to our flying front kick. Now, our flying front kick is not the same as a flying side kick. When we do our flying side kick, what we're trying to do is we're trying to swing through, pop, just like so. On a flying front kick, we're gonna use our back leg instead of our kicking leg to generate the momentum, okay? So when I want to, I'm gonna lift this rear leg and then I'm gonna kick, boom, with my front leg, just like so. Really easy kick. But what this begins to do, because it's incorporating this back leg, this starts to set up other kicking combinations. So since I'm already starting to get up in the air, boom, now I can work into a spin, I can work a reverse. There's a lot of things that I can do now that I've started to elevate on the flying front kick. So, kicking leg is in front, rear leg moves forward, pop, and flying front kick. One more time, rear leg, and pop. Now, from right here, we're gonna go ahead and switch. So again, feint, here, okay, and then pop. Always make sure to curl those toes back. Don't get lazy on your front kicks. Make sure you're hitting with the ball of the foot as opposed to the toes, all right? So one more time, back knee comes up, and we kick. So those are your 3 kicks that you need to promote from purple to blue. Spinning back kick, spinning hook kick, flying front kick. All right, guys, until next time, make sure you're training every day, 10 minutes at least. All right, I want everything to be a minimum of 10 on each side. Until next time, train hard, fight fast, score first. Asai.